Why a dumpster? We all come into the world the same way, we all leave it the same way.
We're going to start him over.
Right. Yeah. Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, right. No, you're not. There you go.
How's that? All right. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Go.
Why a dumpster? Because you're born the same way, you're going to die the same way. Your bones, Bill Gates' bones, look the same when the flesh leaves them. We're coming from the same place, we're going the same place. That's the deepest thing I know about philanthropy. It's the deepest thing I know about charity. We are fundamentally all the same. And philanthropy is the expression of that spirit. Coming from that place is your greatest asset as a fundraiser. It's also true, though, that while we're here, some of us have more money, and some of us have a whole lot more money. We do a whole lot more good and a whole lot more damage. A recent study of the top of the donors to four nonprofits, 4 universities in the Northeast, said essentially that 90% of the money is coming from 1% of the people. It's a revolution, a Copernican revolution. You can no longer assume the donor revolves around you because the donor is saying, no, you revolve around us. If we have the money, you revolve around us because we have the money. If you look at your metrics, do they align with doing the most for those who give the most? Are you doing the most for the 1% who can do most of the money? When you try to align around mission, it's essentially the expression of the same traditions that got you into this field. Aesthetic, literary, philosophical, religious. Asking those kinds of questions are what you need to do. What kind of person you want to be in what kind of world? J. Steenhuisen asks, do you recognize any element of luck, blessing, or grace, Mr. Big, around whom the world revolves? Do you recognize any element of blessing or grace? Peter Karoff, what is your vision of a better world? What conditions are needed to realize it? What are the obstacles and what plans and strategies and tactics and gifts and nonprofits can help you realize that dream and make it a reality? Charlie Collier, one of the world's greatest fundraisers at Harvard, would ask, what principles have guided your legacy planning to date? Because the principles that guide legacy planning are fear, greed, and control. And nobody wants to say that. They want to say they have higher aspirations than that. So as you connect with them around a higher purpose, the entire plan is out of whack. Not just a tiny giving piece of it. The entire plan is out of whack. What are you up against with your kids? How wealthy do you want them to be? These are Tracy Gary's questions. What do you like to change or preserve in the world? Has past giving reflected your hopes? What are the issues behind the current issues? What might change the situation? Who joins you in the work? What nonprofits join you? Joe Breitenbecker died about the age you see in that picture. Went to Harvard. You can see the Harvard crest on his t-shirt, and he would ask people, I don't want the whole mission statement. Don't give me the whole 9 yards. What would be the values that go with your fulfillment crest? What would be the values on it? I like to ask people, when you were younger, were there things you wanted to do you haven't yet accomplished? Because most of us plan to do more than we have. And how might you get back to that while you still have time? Beyond yourself, Mr. Big Shot, Mrs. Big Shot, beyond yourself and your family, is there anywhere else in the world in which you'd like to have a positive impact while you're alive or after you're gone? Once you ask questions like that, it's just as well to create a yoga space, a meditative silence. There's nothing you can do but ask one question and hope for the best. You're on uncharted terrain. Carl Rogers said, I found it of enormous value when I can simply let another person be themselves. Barbara Palmer says, the soul is like a wild animal. If you want to see a wild animal, we know the last thing we should do is go crashing through the woods, yelling for it to come out. In other words, leave the metrics at home, ask the question, and listen. David Soley, a gerontologist, says it's like whale spotting. You ask the question and nothing happens. The surface of the water remains smooth, and you're looking in the wrong place. And when that whale comes up, it's coming from an unexpected direction. Once you ask these questions, you will tap something deeper if you listen in many cases. When you're tapping 10%, 20%, 30% of a wealthy person's balance sheet, okay, they're going to talk to advisors before they make a decision. So ask for an appointment with the advisors rather than asking for the money. Your goal is to bring together these two systems, a system of personal finance and advisors, where the world revolves around the donor, and the world that you move in where the world revolves around the people you serve. You're in the middle bringing those two worlds together. And in that way, a greater purpose is served, because we all are